Folks, welcome back to Nostalgianomics. So one of the number one questions I get asked on every video and every live stream, on my Discord, in my Instagram, through email, whatever other way you can think of is, Alex, can you do a expert level tutorial on how to sell online, whether it be TCG Player or eBay, give the tips and tricks, give the ins and outs of both, give the benefits and drawbacks to each, and just show us how you go about selling on these platforms. And today is exactly what I'm going to do. Now, for all of you that may not want to sell yourself, or at the end of this, you say, Alex, that seems like a whole lot of work and I don't want to go through all that. Well, guess what? You're in luck too, because today's video sponsor is Arizona TCG. They run a consignment service for your CGC, BGS, and PSA slabs. Here's how it works, okay? They do all the work. They're going to take the pictures, make the title, make the description, deal with the customers, ship it out for you, and just send you a check. Their commissions are very reasonable. Anything under $100 is 13.5%, which is almost what the same as eBay is, plus a $5 shipping fee, which is basically what's going to cost you to ship on eBay with shipping supplies. So it's basically the same amount you're going to pay on eBay. Anything over $100, it's only 13.5%, no shipping fee. So it's basically better than what you're going to pay on eBay. And then anything over $2,500, it's only 3.5%. So here's how an average sale would break down, right? If you sold a $50 card on eBay yourself, after your fees and shipping, you'd probably come out below what you would actually get from Arizona TCG doing all the work for you. So this is definitely an option for all of you who decide at the end of this video, maybe selling yourself isn't for you. The link for them will be in the comment section and the description below. So let's start out. Here's how all of your eBay homepages will look. Now, mine's got, a nice fancy banner here. I got a nice fancy logo. Yours may not have anything there, but it's all going to have the same button right up top, right? Your eBay, you're going to click sell. All right. That's going to bring you to this page here. And then all you're going to have to do is click create listing. And we're going to do a single listing. All right. Real simple. Now we're going to pick a card to sell. For this description, we're going to sell the Moonbryon. All right. Umbreon VMAX. All you got to do is type in Umbreon VMAX. Nothing more. Type in Umbreon VMAX. eBay is going to populate a bunch of different results. Look, right up top. That's the one we're looking for. You just click that. Okay, look, they're going to have everything pre-filled out for you. You don't have to do any work there. Just continue. And then you're going to tell them if it's graded or ungraded. For this example, we're going to be selling a PSA 10. So PSA, we're going to type in 10. And you can put the certification number in there if you want. You don't have to, but it can help. Then you're going to click continue. And it is going to bring you to your listing that they've populated everything for you. Now, for the pictures. If you're someone who wants to take pictures yourself, you can definitely do so. We can talk about that. A lot of the time, I just use my own PSA submission photo. So what I do, I go to the PSA page, right? It's going to have the scans right there. So what I'll do is I will just drag, sorry about that. I will just drag and drop the scans from PSA right onto my listing. And that's all you got to do. Boom. You have your pictures there. It's the exact card. Now, here's where it comes into, however you want to do this, because some people might like to list like multiple of one card on one listing. So here's what I do. This is my Blastoise EX, my special illustration for 151. This is the exact card. I'm only selling one of them, right? So what I do on these listings, okay, is I put, you will receive the exact item shown in pictures. Items are shipped out next day. If you have any questions, please feel free to message me prior to ordering. That's all you need to put. And you can just copy and paste that in every single description. Now, I have a little extra here trying to promote my YouTube channel, but obviously you don't need to do that. So all you're going to do is copy and paste this line here, put it in all your listings. It tells everyone all they need to know. Now, if you're trying to list multiples and they're not going to have the same serial number, or it's multiple singles and they're not going to be the exact single, I do what I do here. So this card here, the Red Eyes Black Dragon from Yu-Gi-Oh! Starter Deck Joey. All right, I will just, even if I only have one of them and it's a stock photo, I'll put this description here, right? This is a stock image. The card you will receive will be in lightly played condition. Then items are shipped out next day. If you have any questions, message me prior to ordering. Okay. If I don't want to take a photo, or if I have multiple, I'll just put this description. That way I don't have to take a picture of every single card I have and make a bunch of different listings. Okay. Now, going back to your listing. So your title. Here's the big thing. You don't need Pokemon TCG up front. What I like to do is some people will put the name of the card up front. I like to put the grade up front when it's a PSA 10, because I feel like PSA 10 is going to draw more people to the listing more than just the name of the card. So I put PSA 10, all right, Gem Mint right up front when it's Gem Mint 10. All right, so PSA 10 Gem Mint, Umbreon VMAX. And now here's where you can switch it up too. I don't think Hollow Secret Rare needs to be in there. I think people are more interested in the term alternate art. So I'll go ahead and throw in alternate art after the name. And then when if you have a space left, you can type in Pokemon. That way it gets more search results. You can put the Evolving Skies. You can even put the abbreviation for Sword and Shield in there. And the number of the card, I actually like to have that up with the card. I think it does better. So, what is it? 215 out of 230, I believe. So that's kind of how I like to set up my listings is the PSA 10 Gem Mint. You got the name of the card. You got the number. You got the alternate art, which is you have Pokemon, you have Sword and Shield era, and you have Evolving Skies. That's going to get a lot of the search results. This is kind of how I like to set up my listings. Now, you can defer yours. You can play with it to see what's better on the search results. I found success with this. Now, like I said before, eBay's already pretty much lined out all of your listing for you. It's filled in a lot of things you need. You can go through and definitely fill in more if you want, right? You can fill in more of these little bars if you want. You can say, okay, I want to put in it's Nintendo as the manufacturer, or, if it's an autograph, you can add some in. You want to say if it's English or Japanese, you can say the year is manufactured. You can go click some of these and add them to it, but it's not necessary. This is basically all you need to do. If it's in United States, this is all you need to do for an eBay listing. All right. And then, like I said before, right, what we're going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste that same thing. If it's the exact item, I'm going to go to this listing and I'm going to copy and paste the exact same thing I put there. You will receive the exact item shown in pictures, blah, 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 blah. It's that simple, okay? You're going to go down and buy it now. You're going to pick your pricing, right? You're going to go look at the market. Now, when you look at the market, right, what I like to do is I like to look at sold listings, and I also like to look at lowest list, right? Because when you look at sold listings, they're going to be all over the place, right? You're going to have some go buy it now. You're going to have some go, auction. They're going to be up and down depending on, if it's a trusted seller or if it's a new seller. Same thing when you go look at the items that are listed. Some are going to be from, really high-end trusted sellers. Some are going to be from brand new zero feedback sellers. Some are going to be at auction. So the prices are all going to swing. You have to decide for yourself where you want to be at in that mix, right? For me, I usually like to be somewhere near the lowest of like the top rated, the larger sellers. I'm not really trying to compete against the zero feedback or low feedback sellers. I'm not trying to compete against auction sold prices. I'm trying to compete against the lowest, larger sellers that have them listed. So even if auctions for this card are going at like $750, $775, but buy it nows are in the $8, $820, $830, and then I see the lowest list from a big seller at $829.99, I'll probably throw mine into $824.99 or something like that, just to undercut them a little bit, but still be, above some of the lower people or above the auction price. That's how I like to list my listings. Now, if you just want to get out of it, you can always throw it at auction as well. So, buy it now. You can say, I'm going to list this card at $799.99. Okay, quantity, if you want to allow offers or not. And then you can also schedule your listing for later. If you're wanting to have like a certain amount of listings scheduled to go out per day, you can click that and you can actually put the day and time of when you want that listing to go active. I usually don't do that. I just list them right away. The shipping, guys, you can mess with the whole shipping thing. And so that way when, after the sale's made, when it populates your shipping label, it's already lined out. I usually don't even mess with this. I just put in my shipping, label information at the time of the sale. But if you want to, you can put in, it's going to be like a 4-ounce package. And I think my boxes are 7x4x3 is what I ship my PSA cards in. And then I always give the buyer free shipping on these. So that's pretty much it, guys. That's everything. The last thing you can do is you can promote your listings if you want them to sell faster. I recommend if you're going to promote, just use the percentage one. I don't recommend paying like an actual dollar amount per day because the longer it's just in the market, the more you're eating into your profit margin. Whereas the percentage one, it only charges you if the item sells and if someone clicked on it through the promoted listings. And so, sometimes you don't need to. If you really want to sell fast, you can click on this and you can pick. Now, I usually don't go that high. I usually start out at like a 2.5% just so it's something. So it does put it ahead of the other search results. If you see a lot of people are promoting their listings, you can up it to maybe 5%. If it's a really popular card or really, it's a high demand or high competitive card, maybe up to 10% if you really want to, but then you really eat into your profit. So you have to decide on that for yourself. And then that's it, guys. That's the entire listing. You can list it for free, right? You get a certain amount of listings on eBay every single month for free. And then if you're a new account, I believe you pay 13.25% plus, whatever it costs to ship, whatever your shipping supplies are. So that's eBay, guys. That's as easy as it is. All right. The last thing I want to say is here's some of the sales I've made. For my PSA cards, most every PSA card I've graded myself. If I don't, I either take pictures or scan it. Let's talk about taking pictures. All right. So if I'm going to take this down for a second, I'll come back to it. If you are taking pictures, all right, for any item like a sealed box, sealed ETB, booster packs, collection box tin, any other type of item you're selling on eBay, eBay usually likes a white, clean background. So you just use a white background, all right? And then as far as lighting is concerned, I actually have this set up on my website. If you go to nostalgianomics.com, go to the recommended products tab. I basically have all the products I use and recommend for collecting, for your shipping, and then obviously for your content as well. And so if you go check out here, all right, here's what I recommend. Obviously, any low-end singles, you can put in a plain white envelope, right? Anything where it gets over $20 or it's more than you want to put in a white envelope and trust that, I use bubble mailers. Any PSA cards, I use shipping boxes like this. Here's booster boxes. These are the right dimensions for a booster box. These are the right dimensions for an ETB, all that good stuff. But here's the lighting I use for my YouTube videos and also my eBay listings. So what these are is they have a nice little screen on top of the light, so it kind of blocks out having any shadows or any glares. And I put one of each of those on each side of my white background, and I take the pictures like that. Now, and again, you can go get all the same stuff I have. It's right on my website. And I'll leave a link to that below. But if it's a card, right? If it's a single card or a PSA card and you're not using the PSA scans, I would recommend you taking pictures or scans with a black background because people like to see the exact condition of the card. And what you're saying is, well, Alex, with a white background, it doesn't show as much of the flaws. Exactly. And you don't want to deal with that because what you're going to have a lot of time is people are asking for more pictures and it's taking more of your time. Maybe customers are going to get the card and be unhappy because they couldn't see the imperfections with the white background. It's best to just be honest and upfront. Show it on a colored background, preferably black. Show exactly what's wrong with the card, and that way the customer knows exactly what they're buying. You're going to have less returns, less bad feedback, and less issues doing it that way. So that's where the picture portion comes in on eBay. All right, and the last thing about the pictures is, guys, I don't like to. This is going to be controversial, and not everyone's going to want to do it my way. But I'm going to tell you how I do it, right? I'm just giving you like my level of seller. I don't like to deal with hardcore collectors. I don't like to deal with collectors who need a bunch of different pictures of the PSA card. People message me about that stuff. A lot of times I won't even respond. I just let it go because those are the people that are going to be way too particular. Even when they get the slabs and they're still going to want to return it because they don't agree with the grade or they don't like the condition it is. I don't like to deal with those people. I like to deal with the people who just like the price. They add the cart, they buy it, and they're happy, right? Same thing goes for singles. This is where it gets controversial. A lot of people, right, they like to see the actual picture of the single card. I don't do that. I don't have really any pictures of any of my single cards of the actual item. And the reason for that is I don't want to sell to hardcore collectors or card graders, right? I don't want to deal with people being unhappy that it's a little off center or has a couple white nicks or wants a million other pictures to see all the different angles. I don't have time for that. And so when it comes to that is, here's my listings that I've sold, all right? I want to show you that they actually sell. So all of my PSA cards, most all of them, all right, they're just straight my scans right off PSA. Here's the single cards, right? I have all these single cards, okay, just like you saw with this Yu-Gi-Oh card, okay? It's literally a copy and paste photo right off TCG Player. I find the card on TCG Player, right? I save the image as on my computer from TCG Player, and then I upload it directly to eBay, okay? So this is not and it says in the description, this is a stock photo, right? It's in light play condition. So make sure you properly condition your cards. But what this does is, this allows you to not have to take the time to take all the different pictures of all the different cards. It makes the listings go much faster. It shows up higher in the search results on eBay because it's a nice, clear image. And the people that buy the cards that don't have the exact picture, they're much less picky. They're not the graders, right? They're the ones that just want the card and it's a good price or it's from whatever it is why they buy it. But it makes the transaction much easier. Okay, so again, if you have if you're not a card grader and you're selling like a mint copy of a card, right, and it's perfect, you might want to take a picture of that because it's actually going to go higher than a regular near mint copy because people are going to pay more for that because they think it's going to grade a 10. But anyone who's just selling a regular near mint card might have a couple nicks, might have, off center, whatever it may be. Anyone selling light played cards, there's all different lights played. I prefer just putting a stock image, having a competitive price, and they move. As you can see with my sold listings, they move very consistently. I have no problem selling cards with stock images on eBay. Now, going to TCG Player, right? All right. TCG Player is much, much easier than eBay, okay? Here is the back end of TCG Player, and here's where you list your items. Now, why would you use TCG Player? Well, Sometimes items sell more on eBay. Sometimes I sell more on TCG Player. TCG Player is just going to be for raw cards. Some people try to sneak in, PSAs or other slab listings in there, but realistically, it's mostly for raw cards. And then obviously you can sell sealed product as well, but no real slab sales are done on TCG Player. So what you want to do, what I do, I check eBay and TCG Player. Does it when I'm selling sealed items, when I'm selling singles, and I look where they're going for more, right? Now, because TCG Player is so much easier to list singles, and it does seem like they move a lot faster, at least for me on TCG Player, even if it's close, I'll throw it on TCG Player. So if it's a $10 card on eBay and it's maybe 8 or 9 on TCG Player, I'll throw it on TCG Player and see if it sells there quick because it's so much faster and easier to list. Now, if it's a crazy margin, if it's like $5, $10 difference, I'm taking the time and I'm going to list it on eBay. I'm just going to copy and paste the photo from TCG Player, list it, and let it sell on eBay because I'm not going to let that much money go. But otherwise, all right, let me show you how fast this is to list, okay? So let's take the Moonbryon. We're just going to type in Umbreon VMAX, right? That easy. Umbreon VMAX. TCG Player is going to find all the Umbreon VMAXs for us. We're going to click on the one we want, right? The alt art, okay? And then we're gonna look at what the prices are going for. So don't always trust these prices. They're not always right. What you're gonna want to do is click on TCG Player Live Prices. Okay, it's gonna bring you to this page where it's actually listed. Okay, and what you're gonna do, you're gonna go look at what they're listed at. Okay, so you're gonna come down here. We want to sort by near mint if we're selling a near mint copy, whatever condition you're selling in. Search by that. Okay, and we're gonna look at what they're actually selling for. So look, this is a Korean card, so we're not looking at that. This is an EV Heroes Japanese card. We're not, or that might be Korean as well. I'm not sure. We're not looking at that. Okay. Now, you could say, well, this is actually the lowest listing, but I'm looking at this seeing, okay, 0 feedback seller, never made a sale, 0 feedback seller, 1 sale, 0% feedback. It does have, pictures though. People like that. I'm looking at this person, right? Almost 100% positive, 10,000 plus sales. I'm looking at this, and then even above him, you have an 87.5% feedback. People don't like to see that. So I'm looking in this range to list my card. I'm not listing it at 500, but you might do it differently. So for me, if I see this, I'm probably going to list mine at like $529.99. And as you can see, the sales will be kind of all over the place because some people will take the chance and buy from new sellers. Some won't. And so you'll see, here's one sold for $555. Here's another one, $499. Here's some 500s. Here's a $530. So they sell all over the place. You just have to decide where you want to be. And so I'm going to be right under that top rated seller. I'm not going to be with the 0 feedback guys. So I'm going to say $529.99, quantity 1, save, it's listed. That's it. That's as fast as it's listed. Look at this. If I want to delist it, click on add again, it brings me back. I can say 0 quantity, save, it's delisted. So as you can see, I could probably make 100 or so TCG Player listings in the time. Most people could probably make like 10 eBay listings, especially if you're taking your own photos. And so much, much faster to list things on TCG Player. This is why a lot of my raw singles, I will just list on TCG Player if the prices are even somewhat close to eBay, because it's so much faster, it's so much easier, and they do usually move a little bit faster, at least for myself on TCG Player. Also, you'll notice a lot of the time that sealed product, okay? You can go search this for yourself. I actually get heat for it a lot in my videos. When I show sold pricing, people will attack me and they'll say, Alex, why are you saying this box sells for $500? It's on eBay right now for $430. And then I'll show all the sold listings that have happened on TCG Player in that same day or that week, and they're selling for $500. And people will say, well, those people are just stupid. Well, or you just need to be a smart seller and make sure to sell that item on TCG Player and not eBay. So as much as you want to be an informed buyer, be an informed seller too. If people want to shop on TCG Player and pay more, that's where you need to list that item. So you constantly need to be looking where I can get the most money for each item. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is arbitrage plays. What arbitrage is, retail arbitrage, is being able to buy from one platform and sell on another for a margin. So I showed this in an earlier video, but this is a play I made recently. So here's Dark Magician. This is from one of the 25th anniversary tins, okay? And I found this because I wanted to make a grading play on it, okay? And so there's a margin there to grade it, but also I saw this going on, right? This card is selling in the $8 range, right? In the 8s. And so I can buy it in the 8s here. But on eBay, I'm actually selling these. You can see I have 10 sold for $13.97. So even after taking out the selling costs, the shipping fees, even after, the envelope or top loader and all that good stuff, I'm still making like $2.50 to $3 per card, meaning every like 3 cards I sell, 3 to 4 cards I sell, I'm actually getting one for free, just moving them from TCG Player and selling them on eBay. Now, the reason I did this was because I wanted to sift out the mint copies and grade the ones that were gradable, but it made an easy out for me where I could actually sell the ones that weren't gradable right on eBay and get my money back and then some. And as you can see, look, guys, it's just a stock photo. Look, it's the exact stock photo from Instagram from TCG Player. I just copy and pasted it, right? And I just made the listing. I made a quantity, and I said in the description, like I said, this is a stock image, blah, blah, blah. That's all you have to do, and they are selling. Okay, so you can go that route as well. If you find arbitrage plays, it's just one play. There are multiple things like this you can do, and you can actually make a profit even after shipping, fees, all that good stuff. Last thing before I let you go, all right? Here, I talked about it before, the shipping materials, right? So how I ship, okay? First of all, here's the bubble mailers, right? Here's the actual graded card boxes I use for my PSA and slabs. Here's the actual booster boxes I use to ship booster boxes. Here's the actual boxes I use to ship ETBs. If you guys want to get those, nostalgianomics.com recommended product section. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how I do it. You may do it differently, but this is what I found that worked. I've never had one issue with my shipping, okay? So if you're shipping a single card in a plain white envelope, all right? I use a top loader. I use a penny sleeve. I put the card in the top loader, okay? And then what I do, I don't use a piece of tape, because if you put a piece of tape on top of the card, what does that do for the customer? That means the customer has to either try to peel it off, or they have to try to stick a razor in there or a scissor and try to cut through the tape so they can get the card out. I want the customer to have an easy transaction when they take the card out. So what I do, I use these little baggies. They're the same baggies you can use for PSA cards, right? I slip the card in there and I seal it, and then it does that. And you're asking, why do you need that, Alex? If you don't have this or a piece of tape, the card will get shuffled around the envelope, and it can actually slide out during shipping, and it can actually damage it. I've never had any issues doing it this way. And again, I don't like using the tape. Now, if you're doing like mass amounts of like penny type cards, these things, if you buy them in bulk, again, they're listed on my website recommended product section, either 3 to 4 cents per little baggie. So for me, I don't really sell cards under like $2, $3, $4. So 4 cents, it doesn't really affect my margins too much. I'd rather just be safe and have the customer have a good experience. But if 4 cents is really going to affect your margins, then fine, don't do this. Use a piece of tape. You know, it's still going to do the job, but it's going to be harder on the customer. All right. Now for PSA cards, right? Here's the box I use. Here's that box I showed you, right? 7x4x3 box, real easy. It still comes out to under 4 ounces with the card and bubble wrap and taped up everything inside. So it's the same exact cost as it costs to ship a bubble mailer. Now the box itself, it costs a few cents more than a bubble mailer. Very minimal though. Again, if, you know, 5, 10, maybe 12, 15 cents is going to cut into your margins that much of using this over a bubble mailer, then fine, don't. But I've had people tell me they've had cards crushed before in bubble mailers. I've never had one issue shipping this way. Now, how I ship it? Real easy. Take your Charizard, right? I wrap it up. I wrap it up in one piece of bubble wrap, just one little piece. I put a piece of tape just to keep it together, okay? And then I put it right in the box like so, all right? Real easy. Seal the box, okay? And then what I do one piece of tape around one side, one piece of tape around the other, and then one more piece of tape around long ways, and that's it. Slap the label on top. It's ready to go. That easy, guys. I mean, as far as shipping labels, you don't have to get a label printer if you don't want to. You can print it off on computer paper, cut it out, and tape it on. You can actually buy actual like computer paper size sheets where it has 2 shipping labels on. You can run those right through a regular printer, print out 2 shipping labels and you can actually peel them off and stick them on. You can get a label printer where you can slap those on, whatever level you're at, whatever you want to do. But you can. It's real easy to do that. After you make a sale, it'll come up on your notifications on eBay. I'll go ahead and share that screen one more time. I don't have any ready to ship right now, but I'll at least show you what it looks like. So here's your eBay account. It'll come up right here under notifications. It'll say, you know, however many orders are ready to ship. You'll click on it. It'll bring you to a shipping page, okay? And it'll literally show you all the different shipping options, what they cost. All you do, put your items on a scale if you're shipping a package. If you're shipping a plain white envelope, just put plain white envelope, 1 ounce, you know, and it costs 64 cents. Any other items you can put on a scale. Like I said, anything in these boxes with a PSA card, one piece of bubble wrap, and the tape, this is under 4 ounces, so I just put 4 ounces. It comes out to the lowest shipping costs, and 7x4x3, and boom, it'll populate all the search results: USPS, ground, priority, UPS, FedEx. USPS ground advantage is the best way to go. It's usually like $3 to $4. And you just click that, click populate label, and it'll make your label for you. You print it right off through eBay. And then it'll take the funds however you want, out the credit card or right out of your funds that you sold. It doesn't matter. It's real easy, guys. I don't want people, getting kind of like, you'll feel like it's too daunting. This is very easy, right? Millions of people sell on these platforms every single day. Don't let it, freak you out. Don't let people online scare you into thinking selling's hard or something. It's not hard at all. Now, again, if after seeing all this, you just don't want to do it, hey, Arizona TCG, links in the description in the comment section. You can send them your slabs. They'll sell it for you. There's other people that will, take trades or sell things for you if you have sealed items or singles. But that's pretty much everything, guys. That is the all-encompassing tutorial on all the ins and outs, tips and tricks to sell on eBay and TCG Player. And I really hope it helps. If you guys have further questions, leave them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer those questions. And as always, thanks for watching. My name is Nostalgianomics. Subscribe to the channel if you're not yet, and I'll be back here in a new video soon. I'm out.